turn this on. Y'all bear with me, this is new.
I appreciate everybody coming to Charlotte. So, I'd like to ask Mr. Chase to give a brief mission statement.
Sure. The mission of the North Carolina Prison Board is to protect consumers of real estate services provided by its licensees by ensuring that these licensees are sufficiently competent in independent judgment. In addition, the board will protect the public interest by enforcing state law and the prison board rules to ensure that its licensees act in accordance with professional standards and methods. The North Carolina Prison Board believes that the prison professions reflect the diversity of our state. To further this mission, the board is dedicated to expand diversity and inclusivity in the profession by removing barriers that limit opportunities for any qualified individual to come into prison.
Thank you, Mr. Chase. I'll take this opportunity to read the conflict of interest reminder. In accordance with the state government's ethics act, it is the duty of every board member to avoid both conflicts of interest and appearance of conflict. Board members are directed to identify any known conflict of interest or appearance of conflict with respect to any matter coming before the board at this meeting, and to refrain from any undue participation in a particular matter involved. Does any board member know of any conflict of interest or appearance of conflict of interest with respect to any matter coming before the board at this time? Okay, so I have no conflict of interest. At this point, Ms. Panko has notified me that she does have a need to go into closed session to consider a consent order. So I'd like to have a motion to amend the agenda to add a closed session pursuant to General Statute 143-318-186, and we'll just add it after the staff report. I have the motion.
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Taylor, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Chase. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Next, I'd like to entertain a motion to consider approving the agenda with items taken in any order determined by the chair.
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Taylor.
Second.
Okay. Ms. Goldie. All in favor?
Aye.
I see all ayes. All right, has everybody got a chance to review your minutes from the last meeting? Okay, if so, I have a motion to approve the minutes. Okay, Ms. Scott,
I'll second.
Mr. Chase. And do we have any questions or discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, got all ayes, motion carries. At this point, we'll move to 2 and review the financial reports for March of 2024.
I'll point out that we have handheld mics at both for the board and the staff, so if you have just a quick question, we probably can just take it, but if we get into PCs or something, you have a detailed question, maybe take the handheld mic, we'll try to do likewise. But with the financials, this is your financial reports through March of 24. Nothing jumps off the page. There are, I would say year to date, as far as revenue and expenses, we're where we usually expect to be. Individual line items are somewhat different. I don't think we have, some of the application fees are down from years past, but you know, we did hit a high point during the COVID cycle. We were having a lot of trainees and upgrades, and I think we've seen that begin to taper off. We didn't have quite as much USPAP expense as we thought, as a lot of people ended up buying a book from their sponsor. It was included with the course sponsor. We do have a little more USPAP income because we were charging, because we bought the whole packet of books, both the guidance and the USPAP book. There was a little more charge per individual. So those line items are a little different than what we budgeted, but it doesn't change. I think the bottom line will still be fairly close to budget by the end of the year.
Anybody have any questions? All right, next on our agenda is the hearing. We're gonna keep going past that, it's scheduled at 10 a.m. So we'll probably keep moving until we get to about 9:45 and stop for a short 15-minute break before the hearing starts. Is that okay? All right. So let's move on to the probable cause. And we'll start to my right. Mr. Chase, you have any questions? All right. Ms. Todd? Okay. Mr. Todd?
None.
Mr. Moore? Mr. Bo? Ryan? Can I ask which was?
23,
0023?
yes, sir.
Okay.
33, 5, and 6.
33. Which is the next one? 005?
Those are the three that are grouped together.
And 6.
I'm sorry?
33, 5, and 6.
They're grouped together.
Yeah. 33, 5, 6, okay, and 23 is not grouped together.
No, that's not.
Okay, so at this point, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve staff recommendations on the cases on the case report with the exception of 2023-0023, 2023-0033, 2024-0005, and 2024-0006. All right, Mr. Morgan. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Todd? All in favor? Any opposed? Let's see if I want to ask. All right, I'll turn this mic over. Ms. Foley, now at the end, we'll start with 20.
23?
Yeah, let's start with her.
Okay,
I'm not sure it's on.
Yes,
hello.
Yeah.
Having a microphone in front of a lot of people has never been my dream, so. Okay, on 23, I have a question. This appears to be a duplex that was done on a 1025 small residential. And so my question is, the income approach was not checked. Did the appraiser do the income approach, or was that just a miss on the checkbox?
Give me a second. Yes, the income approach was completed.
I'm sorry.
Was.
It was completed.
The income approach, so it was just, that was my question.
So we can change the report to add, we did that, we can check it on the final version.
Yeah, the only reason my question, it didn't seem to be in any of the commentary either, and I was just curious as to why it couldn't be. Okay. That's the only question I have on that.
That's the only question?
That's it.
So, is there a motion to approve Faculty South recommendations on 2023-0023?
Yes, motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Chairman? That motion carries. So if you could with the other ones, is this going to be, this is all on the same report?
Yes.
This is just for everybody's information, these are 3 cases that are on the same report.
So, my question on this was, did each of the respondents, there were 3 signers of the report, did each of the respondents inspect the report, inspect the property?
No, only the respondent one inspected the property, the other 2 signed that they did not inspect.
Okay. I'm sorry if I missed that. I've looked through that a couple times. I didn't see that. My other question was, I'm assuming it was a narrative report.
Yes.
It seems a lot general appraiser, not knowing the difference between legal conforming and legal non-conforming. And then the respondent number 2 thought he was doing a desk review, and he didn't seem to know the difference between a desk review and co-signing report. Did that concern you?
I think in the commercial world, that's fairly typical, where you have one appraiser do the main report, and then you have other eyes on the report, that don't actually go see the property. And yeah, that's typical. What was the first question again?
I was concerned because the respondent number 2 thought he was doing a desk review. When he was asked for the desk review, then he decided he was a co-signer. That concerned me that he might not have known the difference between the 2.
Well, when I spoke with him, the way it typically works in the office, you have somebody reviewing, you have somebody signing, the owner of the office signs, is responsible for the report. And a lot of times they have somebody else reviewing, who's certainly an appraiser that can review the report. And so I don't know whether he knows the difference between a desktop review and another review. That's what his statement was. I didn't go into it. I knew that since he was a co-signer, he wasn't required to write a report on that, so I didn't see beyond that.
So you didn't feel that there were any classes necessary for any of the 3?
Say that again?
You didn't
Recommend a
feel,
class.
you didn't feel that it was necessary to ask for any of them to take any course
No,
on it?
I didn't. I think first question, there was an oversight on the zoning, and they know the difference. And it was just something that they all missed, which happens on occasion. But I think they all understood it.
Okay, that was my only question. It just seemed after reading through it that, based on some of the other ones I saw, that it seemed a little light, not even requiring a class, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
So we can group these 3 together, since it's the same board, I feel. So do we have a motion to accept staff recommendation on 2023-0033, 2024-0005, and 2024-0006?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to accept that recommendation.
Second. Mr. Moore? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. I think that takes care of all the probable cause under. So we move on to the investigation request.
The supervisory appraiser, a certified residential appraiser, currently has 3 trainees. Trainee 1 was associated on 11/9/2018. Trainee 2 was associated with them on September 1st, 2023. And trainee 3 was associated on July 3rd, 2020. Trainee 1 submitted an application to upgrade in April or May of 2023. Work product was reviewed. The applicant was listed in the reports as providing significant assistance, and all other items appeared appropriate, and an exam ticket was issued. On March 11th, 2024, an upgrade application was received from Trainee 2. The supervisor declared for Trainee 2 was not submitted or approved until 9/1/2023. However, Trainee 2 was claiming experience hours since March 2021. We reviewed the qualifications of the supervisor, and it was determined that the supervisor wasn't eligible to take on a third trainee in March of 21 because they already had 2 trainees, and neither trainee appeared to be at 50% at that time. It was also found that the log submitted by Trainee 2 was a similar log to the log submitted by Trainee 1 as part of their upgrade application, and consisted of multiple pages of appraisals on the same property addresses with the same effective date. However, within some of those multiple pages, the work product selected for Trainee 1 was not included on the log for Trainee 2, while every other line item on that page was the same. Staff reached out to the appraisal management company on one of the reports that was selected as work product review on Trainee number 1. The report provided by the AMC did not have Trainee listed as providing significant assistance. Staff believes the report submitted by Trainee 1, which was used to verify their experience to be eligible for licensure, may have been altered. Trainee was assisting within the report when they were not listed as doing such, which could be misleading to the client. If so, neither Trainee 1 nor Trainee 2 would be eligible to claim credit for the report, as they wouldn't have been able to perform 75% of the work for the board rules. Staff requested a complaint be opened on the supervisor, Trainee number 1, and Trainee number 2. During the investigation, staff will review the logs of Trainee 3 to determine what reports, if any, may be claimed for any future application. As Trainee number 3 has not submitted an upgrade application, a complaint is not required, as there have been no alleged act of misleading or providing false information to the board.
Is there any questions? Do I have a motion to open a complaint against supervisor Trainee 1 and Trainee 2 as proposed by staff? Chase? Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Cole? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right. Let's move on to the pending hearing report.
Okay, you have your in-hearing list. We do expect, we have several that are in the discussion phase right now, as far as a settlement. As Panico said, we will have a consent order to consider later in this meeting. Also, we do expect there to be a hearing at the June meeting. All parties have been notified, and it doesn't appear that there's a road to settlement for that, so we would expect that to take place.
All right.
And looking at your cases year to date, as you can see, we're starting to whittle away at the total pending year to date received. I don't know if this is wood or something, but hopefully we'll case load will continue to stay down. We've only had 12 complaints through March to date, so that's good. As you can see, we had 131 last year, so that's an average of over 10 a month, almost 13, so or 11. So that's certainly a lot better place, and so. Obviously, we're getting into peak real estate time as we move into the spring and summer, so we sometimes see a peak in our activity as well.
Thanks. Keep moving forward. We'll go to just learn it out. Let's go to the list of candidates.
Yeah, you have all your candidates that have been certified since our last in-person meeting. You have most of them either through exam or equivalency, equivalency being obviously your reciprocity. We do, I've got to ask this question in the audience, we are seeing probably as many people coming in by reciprocity as by exam, maybe more. Certainly on the certified general, there's more. A lot of people, of course, relocating to North Carolina, so they're coming here. But then, I think as I've mentioned before, there are people that seem to collect licenses in certain regions of the country, so they may have, I've seen as many as 25 or 26 licenses held for different jurisdictions.
All right, let's move to the list of registered personnel companies.
Okay, we've had one new AMC issued since your last review. This March.
Okay.
And moving to your exam reports. We did a little research on this. Before, on the exam report, meet and greet this afternoon, and so we pulled up some of this information. A lot of times people want to know how North Carolina compares to the nation in terms of the exam. So what you have here is for the 15 months, or from the 4 months from December 1st till March 31st. These are all the people that took the exam. As you can see, we had 11 licensed residential, 11 certified residential, and 5 certified general take the exam. These are first-time test takers. 16 passed for an overall rate of 59%. And so that, in looking at nationally for 2023, the total pass rate was 60%. So 1%, and then you got in the individual categories, licensed residential was 64%, certified residential was 64%, and certified general was 52%. And given that we only had 5 certified generals, if we'd had one more pass, it would have been 60%, and one more failure, 40%. So there was no way to kind of be at that exact number, but it seems like we were very much almost on top of the numbers that they're seeing nationally.
It's good interaction. All right, let's move on to the public forum. Do we have anyone to speak?
Nobody asked to speak at the public forum by the deadline.
We'll move on to the presentation report.
Okay, just most of this is for your information. We have the USPAP Q&As that were issued early March. Just those are there for your benefit. And then there was an announcement made, I believe, about 2 weeks ago. And I told this group before, Dave Bunton, who was the president of Fraser Foundation for over 30 years, announced his retirement effective this year. And they have named their senior vice president, Kelly Davis, as his replacement, effective March 31st. So she took over about a week ago. And I believe Mr. Bunton will be serving in a advisory capacity until the end of the calendar year. So, but she will be, those of you that go to Arrow, she will be serving in the role of president of the foundation at this point.
Okay, let's move on to the other subcommittees response to the comments.
Okay, I announced at the last meeting the results of the subcommittee, but I wanted to put the reports in there for your benefit. The present subcommittee reviewed our program. They're back on their every 2-year cycle. We had kind of what do they call it, a long distance review or SOA in 2 years ago, and just kind of basically looked at the paperwork and said they felt everything was in order. But they actually sent boots on the ground, people to actually look at our program and pull records and all again like they usually do. This was, we've had our appraiser program reviewed every 2 years, for as long as the subcommittee's been set up. This is the first year they actually were reviewing, I think, well, actually last year, but our first time having our AMC program reviewed. We got an excellent rating again on our appraisal program, which means really they found no issues. And then on the AMC program, they did find one instance where an AMC changed the name of their company and we didn't get it loaded in a timely manner. And staff has identified the issue. Appears it took quite some time for that name change to be finalized. They had to submit additional paperwork. When it finally got done, it didn't get posted to the registry. So we put it in our database, but we didn't put it in theirs. And so one thing that should be doing before they come back is we'll have it where our database uploads to their database in real time. So if we make the change, it'll do it. So we don't feel that's going to be an ongoing problem, and they did amend it from a non-compliance issue to an area of concern. Gave us a good rating. So, but it does show you that one little tick mark gets you from an excellent to a good. So it's kind of frustrating on our part, but we understand.
That's the first tick mark that I've seen.
I don't want to set the bar too high because they're coming back again in 2 years. They may find something, but that's I think we all as regulators around the country and talking to my contemporaries here, you're always worried that there's going to be, they might pull that one file or something that didn't get checked or didn't get moved or whatever, and it's just like an appraisal report or anything else. We try, but there's going to be something here and there. So.
Now you know how we feel.
No, that's right. I know how you feel. I've been on both sides.
All right, I think, is that all you have?
That's all we got on that.
It is 9:31, so let's go ahead and discuss the changes for virtual meeting
Right.
in October. And then we'll have a break until 10 o'clock and then
Yeah, I believe we sent out an email, or the chairman or I sent out an email to board members probably a little over a month ago asking that we consider moving the virtual meeting in October from October the 22nd, which is a Tuesday, to October the 24th, which is a Friday, a Thursday, I'm sorry, it's 2 days later. And I just we need to confirm that at a vote of the board, and then just wanted to make sure that was still everybody's wishes. I know we had some conflicts within the board members of being able to be available on that date.
Is everyone good with that? And then, so I entertain a motion to move the October virtual meeting from October 22nd to the 24th.
So we'll do.
Mr. Taylor?
Second.
Mr. Shea? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. But this one, why don't we take a break and come back? So, I need to have
Yeah, and I'll just remind members of the public, if you would like to speak on the rules, we have a sign-up list on the podium. We'll move the podium to the middle. And if anybody wishes to speak on the rules, they're welcome to sign up and do so.
All right, do I need to have a motion to?
Are you going to do closed session now?
Let's do the closed session when we come back, because I think it's, we've got, we're finishing now, okay. So we'll go ahead and take a closed session on evaluation to go into closed session pursuant to General Statute 143-318.186 to consider consent orders. Mr. Morgan? Second? Scott? All of them?
Aye.
Okay, we'll come back, probably in closed session, go ahead and make an announcement of any actions taken. Probably will take a few minutes, and then